Life has a weird way of catching up with things that you keep avoiding. Welcome to the... It's going to be one of those solo episodes. Gift is not available today, so it's just going to be me again. Hopefully this will be entertaining and long enough to sustain a conversation. I didn't prepare anything today, so it's going to be a bit difficult. So I just looked up at a few things because I was going to dedicate today just to talk to Gift. And that's all. But because I didn't have anything prepared, I just had to get a few things so I can have some things to talk about. There's going to be one camera, so it's just going to be one of those episodes. So I hope you enjoy the episode, hope you enjoy the video, and make sure that you do share if you actually did enjoy it. The first thing that I did write or talk about is life has a funny way of catching up to the things or the difficult conversations that you try to avoid, that you don't want to have. Sometimes this could be seen in terms of health. There's certain things that we tend to avoid. We just have like that slight ache or pain in our abdomen, and we just brush it off, and then over time that can build up and it starts to become more and more and more. Usually when people are presenting in the emergency room, it's usually either like a chronic an acute emergency, like something that just happened that's severe, or it's something that's really been building up over time. And most of us tend to avoid the difficult conversations or the things that we don't want to tackle. And I'm guilty of this as well. There's certain things in terms of my health that I don't want to talk to the doctor about, and I hope it will go away. But the truth is, most of these things won't go away. You just have to face them. And the thing about facing them, you realize that it's not as bad as you thought it would be. It was just really, really light once you actually do tackle it. And I actually have personal experience with this with my patients. When they come in, maybe they have diabetes or something, and they see that, you know what, this wasn't actually that bad. I could have just been here a long time ago and tackled this issue, and I would have been fine a long time ago. But it's just the thought of it. Sometimes it's just the thought of it that makes it difficult to tackle that issue. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say. Life has a funny way of revisiting the difficult conversation or difficult things that we tend to avoid. And usually when they come back later in life, they come back finding you with other problems or other conversations that you've been avoiding. So just tackle it now, do it now in the moment rather than waiting for later on. Because later on, when they do come back, they'll be 10 times worse. And you could have just tackled it a long time ago. I know I gave an example with health, but then even with just conversation that you have to have with someone, just make sure that you do it early. This avoids so many things or so many conflictions. You just have to tackle it. It's just a thought. I promise you, I guarantee you, it's more than 50% of it is just a thought of it. If you actually do it, you'll realize that this wasn't actually that bad. Could have just talked about it a long time ago. The second thing that I did right is embarrassment. Google gives me what does it give me? What does it give me? Memories. No, stories. Like 2 years ago, this is what you looked like. 5 years ago, oh, I can't believe it's already been this many years ago. So it shows me the things that, or the pictures that I took and I saved on the cloud that are from 5 years ago, 7 years ago, and I look at them, and so there is some where I was skating in varsity, and I look at some of these things that at the time I used to be so ashamed of these things and embarrassed. I tried my best not to show it out in public, so I would do certain things and I actually would be or feel embarrassed about doing certain things. But now when I look back, I think I shouldn't have been that embarrassed about those things. I was at the perfect age to do and learn those things at that time rather than be embarrassed about it. So even with that Google memories or photos that I get reminded of, it helps me to acknowledge certain things now, that I shouldn't get embarrassed of certain things right now at this age, thinking, oh, I should be matured enough by this age not to do certain things, not to say certain things. But I know that someday I'll look back to these days and and I know I will think that I shouldn't have been embarrassed by things like that. You need to go through those things to not feel embarrassed, and then to actually see that you are at the perfect age for that thing. Maybe some people skate a bit earlier in life, and you skated in varsity in a place where there wasn't much skate parks or anything like that. But now when I look back, I'm like, shouldn't have been embarrassed about any of those. I was actually at the perfect age to learn how to skate, to do the skateboarding, even though there wasn't any people or that many people on campus. I tried my best to hold it in. I don't know if it was visible to my friends and everyone, but I actually was embarrassed and ashamed for a bit there. But now when I look back at it, I'm like, damn, that was actually really, really nice. I should have embraced it even more, or didn't worry or care much about what are other people going to say about me. Oh, there's that weird kid who skates on campus when there's no skate parks or anything. Our varsity doesn't have that many places where you could skate, so it was only limited to certain places. And I fell once. Sometimes I would skate at night because I would be ashamed that people will see me, so I would mostly go out at night. But again, with the Google photos that I do get, it's just a reminder that it just shows me that I shouldn't have been embarrassed at those things. I was at the perfect age to learn how to skate, to be free, to do whatever I want. Even now, if I want to learn how to skate, I can still do that. There's no age for certain things. Just do you and be you, be free. Most Gift always says that most people don't care, which is true. Everybody is all fixated on focusing on themselves rather than looking outwards. So you might think that the spotlight is on you, but it is not. Unfortunately, nobody's watching you. So sorry, do your thing, be free, do your thing. Oh, I'm sorry. I have an initiative that I want to do. It's going to be bold, but I'm going to say it now. Someday it will come true. I don't know when, maybe 2028 or something. So each and every year, my initiative is for the next 5 to 10 years, I think. I'll see, to make 86 t-shirts. Is this a t-shirt? What is this? T-shirt. Yeah, 86 t-shirts. So 86 meaning 86 is my name, by the way. 86 meaning the logo, but then 86 forms or different types of t-shirts that are going to be that I want to put out there, because I really do need that to have something out in the world. My goal is to have something that's out in the world that shows that I was here. So these videos are one of them, but then also I just want some physical thing, and it also would be nice to just sell some merchandise and have people support me. So it's to make 86 t-shirts, and then it ends there, not more than that. And the next year around, make another batch of 86 different shirts, but then with a different logo. So each and every year they will have different logos. But then that's an initiative that I'm going to do it. So these will be the first, and this is the original one. This is the original logo and the original idea. And I don't know, one day this will be like the first of many. I don't know, it will be like a limited edition, so just 86. So in a way, this will be the first one. Since it's already been made, there will be 85 different ones, but this will belong to me. It won't be for sale. The other ones will be for sale, but then to only South Africans, by the way, and just to make sure that they're wearing something that I prepared, that I made, that I put out in this world, that will outlive me. That's, I was here. I really do want to leave something to say that I was here, because I feel like sometimes some people are okay with just being on earth, for a short while, and then leaving, and then having no recollection of ever being here, and that's okay. That's not me. I feel like I just want some sort of recognition that I was here at some point. There was an individual like this at some point who was a good person. I really try to be a good person as best as I can. Who did his best, who wasn't perfect, but there was a human being. He called himself 86. Which is weird. Sorry. All right. Yeah, those are the things, the two things that I just came up with. Feeling embarrassment, and that life has a weird way of catching up with things that you keep avoiding. Welcome to the Choosing consultation. Losing weight is the easy part. Maintaining it is the difficult part. So instead of focusing on weight loss, focus on building habits that will help to keep it off before you even lose it. So if your plan doesn't include habits you can stick to in the long term, it's already failed. So remember to take care of your body, as it is the only place that you have to live. Make sure to find us every Tuesday on YouTube, and you can also find us on Spotify. That's TOCPODCAST to get the benefit of an ongoing and continuous consultation for good health. If you're here just for the health segment, we do have a segment that comes out every Sunday. That's TOCPT. That's all you have to type. Then you have different things that are divided into 4 different parts. But it's dedicated and is focusing on weight loss. So we have eating for weight loss, focusing on habit or habit forming, physical activity, and focusing on health as well. Remember, take care of your body. It is the only place that you have to live. Today, we'll be focusing on weight loss, eating for weight loss. And in terms of eating for weight loss, the thing that we're going to focus on is fiber. You've probably heard of the word fiber. Your doctor, your dietitian recommended you to eat plenty of fiber, or your social media influencers told you to eat plenty of fiber, or you've seen the word fiber in different types of products. But what is fiber? Why is it important? Why should we have it in our diet? What's so magical about this fiber? Think about building a fire. If you throw paper only, it burns fast. You get a big flame and then it dies out quickly. Keep adding more papers, the fire will somewhat be constant. You'll still get heat, but if you add logs, it burns slow and steady. These logs represent fiber in your diet. Fiber is the log in your meals. Without fiber, your food hits fast, energy spikes, then it crashes and you're hungry again, you're craving more and you're snacking constantly. But if you have fiber, everything slows down, you get a steady flow of energy, there's continuous energy to sustain you, you feel fuller for longer, you have fewer cravings. So if your energy is up and down all day, it's not random, it's your meals. It might be that your meals are missing the logs. If you're always hungry, craving sugar, or feel like your stomach is off, it might be that you're lacking fiber in your diet. It is important to make sure that you incorporate some sort of fiber in your diet, and it has a lot of health benefits, and especially if you want to control your blood sugar levels, like maybe you have diabetes. When you have something that's high in fiber, there is going to be a slow release of the glucose, the sugar, into your bloodstream in comparison to something that doesn't have any fiber. So the thing about fiber is that our bodies cannot digest it, so it takes time to break down that food. So while it's doing that, it's slowly releasing all the sugar into the blood from that food. But if there isn't any fiber, your body is able to just digest that quickly, and then there's going to be a spike in your blood sugar levels, and now you constantly have to snack because you are crashing, you're not feeling energetic throughout the day. But if you are having your fiber in your diet, that will be beneficial to continue for longer, and it will prevent you from having to overeat or over snack because you still feel full. But it also has other health benefits. For example, constipation. Maybe you have constipation or even diarrhea. It helps with the movement in the small and large intestines. So it has a lot of health benefits. So usually fiber products or brown products, those will be beneficial to make sure that you incorporate them into your diet. A simple example is white bread. Brown bread and white bread. White bread doesn't have any fiber, but let's just say you don't like any brown bread, you don't like brown bread, it doesn't taste nice to you, that's okay. But adjust that meal to try to have some fiber in it. The best way you can do that is having a sandwich, like lettuce, cucumber, onions, whatever, peppers, whatever you might want to add into a sandwich. Those vegetables, those raw vegetables will count as your fiber. Even though the white bread doesn't have much fiber, you can add fiber to that meal by having a sandwich, by adding different types of things. Or maybe for your breakfast you were having bread and eggs, there's no fiber. So what can you do to that meal? You can have avocado, an egg, and your bread. The avocado will count as your fiber intake, and you're still getting healthy oils. So there's different ways where you can incorporate fiber into your meals. Or maybe you don't like avocado, sorry, you can have that meal, and afterwards you can have a piece of fruit like an apple. The apple will count as your fiber intake. So making sure that you do some sort of either fruit or vegetable that you can incorporate into that meal if you don't like the brown products. So there's different ways where you can include fiber into your diet without having to force yourself to eat foods that you don't like. Okay, it's that simple. It is that simple. If you have any questions in terms of fiber, please let me know and I will try to answer them. Okay, now in terms of the food for thought, so I'm just going to go, this is going to be a short episode because I didn't have anything planned. The food for thought is something called, I just saw this recently, it's something called the anecdotal fallacy. The anecdotal fallacy is a logical error where someone uses personal experience or isolated example instead of sound scientific evidence to support a claim. It occurs when an individual assumes that their experience reflects a universal truth, often ignoring broader, contradicting or statistics or data. Is that difficult? Given an example, it says, my grandfather was a heavy smoker most of his life, but lived up until 90 years old. Therefore, smoking is not harmful. That's the anecdotal fallacy. People can use or look at social media. Maybe an influencer talked about how this one diet helped them to lose 10 kilograms or has helped 5 of the other people lose 10 kilograms by doing this and this and this. Anecdotal fallacy. It is still important to make sure that you follow healthy eating guidelines. Yes, you might be losing weight, but are you losing your health at the same time? So make sure that you're focusing on health. There's a lot of things that are very important in this world. Your health is the first one and the first and foremost important thing. Lose your health and I guarantee you, you'll wish that you could be overweight again, but then feeling healthy. So making sure that you don't trust someone selling something to you online, unless it's me, but making sure that you don't trust what simple or quick fix that people might have on the internet. You don't know these people. Okay, some examples is, I lost 10 kgs doing this diet, so it must work for everyone. This one food made me drop weight constantly, so it must work for everyone. I stopped eating carbohydrates and it changed my life, so it must work for everyone. So just making sure that you get some support, you get some help. We didn't go to school just to lie to you or bullshit you in certain things. We went to school to actually study how the human body works in terms of nutrition, dietetic and human nutrition. Okay, we did a lot of years and we constantly are reading on the latest research and everything. It's not to bullshit everyone or anyone. It's to give you a sound evidence. And those people, they're also not taking into consideration some of your medical conditions. Some people are following the tips or the tricks that they're seeing online, but you know your own health. You know you're suffering from hypertension. You know you're suffering from high cholesterol. You know you're suffering from gout or different types of things. Get some help that's tailored to you. Nothing generic, something that's tailored to you. Going back to the example of fiber, what we do is that we don't force you to eat certain things, but then we see what's realistic with you. Like the sandwich example. If you don't like brown bread, that's okay. You can continue with your white bread, but how can you make it a bit more healthy. What do you like? Do you like lettuce? If you don't like lettuce, that's still okay. Do you like cucumbers? Maybe if you like cucumbers, or you like onions, you like tomatoes in your sandwich, you're more likely to have those, and making sure that you're still getting a proper diet rather than having to force yourself to eat brown bread for 6 weeks or for 6 months, and from there you're just getting tired of it and then going back to white bread and think this thing doesn't work. I tried, or maybe it does work, but after you're done, you go back to your old habits. So build the new habits of just having the white bread sandwich, but then with some sort of fiber in that diet. So is how we work is just we look at what you normally have and how to adjust it, but also being realistic with the changes that you're going to make long term, nothing short term. Okay, health is long term. There's no there's no such thing as getting healthy for 6 months and then from there we just leave you to be. So you're getting healthy until you retire, until the days of your retirement, until you leave this earth. Okay. But then that's the thing I want to talk about. So the food for thought is anecdotal fallacy, misleading evidence. So personal stories are powerful and memorable, but they're not representative of reality. People often highlight a single story that fills their desired conclusion while ignoring the vast amount of evidence that undermines it. Oh, it worked for that person. Oh, have you seen that? No. No. And in closing, I wonder how long this took. In closing, I have the brain games. So make sure to play along. You'll let me know how many you got correct, and I don't know, let me how many you get correct. So I have a few questions here, and then you let me know. How does it go? The first one: how far can a dog run into a 4-kilometer forest? Halfway. 2 kilometers. That's because from there it's running out of the forest, if that makes sense. If you drop a yellow hat into the Red Sea, what does it become? It becomes wet. How many seconds are in a minute? 60 seconds. True or false? Fiber gives your body calories. Fiber gives your body calories. That's false. It doesn't have any calories. Which is heavier, a kilogram of feathers or a kilogram of bricks? They're all the same weight, you know that. If you remove the skin from an apple or a potato, are you increasing or decreasing the fiber content of that food? You peel it. You peel the potato. You peel the apple. Are you reducing or increasing the fiber content of it? You're reducing the fiber content of it. That's the answer. If you pass the person in second place, what position are you in? Second place. Which has more fiber, apple juice or a whole apple? The whole apple. Actually, as an addition one, I saw one that said, if you pass the person in the last place, what place are you in? You can't, because the person in last place is you. You can't pass someone in the last place. It's not possible. But I don't know. It's kind of tricky. It's a weird one. I hate questions like that, because it doesn't make any sense. Alright, I don't have any other things to talk about. In closing, a scenario. You are with your girl and it's games night, and one of the questions that come up is name a player that starts with the letter T, and she says Chouameni. How do you feel about that? She said Shwameni. Out of everyone, said Shwameni. How do you know Shwameni starts with a T? Shwameni. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to share if you enjoyed the episode. If you do like the solo episodes, there's plenty of solo episodes like these ones where gift is not available. Yeah. Hope I was able to entertain you long enough. I think it's been 20 minutes. This is actually the length that our episodes are supposed to be, about 20 to 30 minutes. But thank you for joining. Remember to take care of your body as well in the place that you have to live.